cow. wanna be the best in the game, invest in my name, check no restraints, I'm obsessed with the pain. I ingest, I retain, assess and I change, possessed by the thought I'll be free one day from society's restraints. Money, clout and fame, mud, disease, a plague. We all love to hate, have to play the game, have to make a name. All our insecurities are on display. This is war with the enemy, think that it was meant to be. Living in a time where disease is on every screen. I won't let them fester me, I know most are festering. Negativity is a plague for the mentally weak. No mercy, all I got is working. Never stop searching, never quench the thirsty. I'm toxic and psychotic, with this logic you can't stop it. It's been chronic since I was a boy, so neurotic and chaotic.
Built to last with the webs I'm weaving. I could change the past with all I'm achieving. Got my foot on gas, never stop competing. If you break like glass, then this life's gonna eat 'em. Make mistakes real fast, then you learn how to beat 'em. If you take off the cast, you can see all the healing. If the pain's in the past, move on from the grave and put your foot on the gas. No, never stop competing, yeah. I've been doing this, I'm on it. I just wanna be iconic. Sipping on a gin and tonic, got me going off when I'm on this topic, yeah. If I ever play, I want it. You know that I'm always honest. Stay away from those who are toxic. Keep them out your face, no way, you don't want it, yeah.
Don't try to drain my energy. The enemy is everything. It's mentally, unhealthily, spreading like a rare disease. But I won't let it get to me. I don't need your therapy. I can leave a legacy of leading by intensity. Come on, we can fight this. Freedom is priceless. Spread just like a virus. Living in a crisis. Do you feel courageous? Do you seek greatness? Trust me, you can take it. Go on and take your aim.
I'm built to last with the webs I'm weaving. I could change the past with all I'm achieving. Got my foot on gas, never stop competing. If you break like glass, then this life's gonna eat 'em. Make mistakes real fast, then you learn how to beat 'em. If you take off the cast, you can see all the healing. If the pain's in the past, move on from the grave and put your foot on the gas. No, never stop competing, yeah.
Late night crew, what's going on, man? It's Taco Tuesday, man. Happy Taco Tuesday. What's up with y'all, bro? What the fuck is going on? Hey, man, say what's up to your boy. Man, y'all better not blow this fucking game. Chadrick, Anita, Samoy, Boston, Kendra in the cup one time. Ladies shall break out the Methuselahs. Break it the Methuselahs! Oh, feel like I'm right. There we go. That's how I like it. Nopper was happening, cuz. We gonna get this other basketball jumping off. I'm gonna get it all. I'm gonna get it up and regulated before the weekend. This is for a spot in the knockout round. This is we still in group play. This is for a spot in the knockout round. If we can beat these fucking Kings, we in. Because we'll own the tiebreaker. Because we beat them. Wow. There's a whole bunch of shit going on. I mean, Sonny ass, 17 piece, just like she got every chance in the world, bro. It sucks to see that for people. Then Trench's news, he's trying to die. And then somebody else in the O Block shit snitched. Big time snitched. I'm talking about they've implicated Dirk, everything. Dirk going to Dirk, they get Dirk. Everybody getting ready to go to prison. I think we might start off with Thug though. This nigga's lawyer gave one of the greatest opening statements of all time, bro. Those that don't know, Young Thug is a rapper from Cash Money Records who is famous for such songs as, you know what? I'll give you a clip.
Rick, homie, thugger in the motherfucker. Homie, thugger in the motherfucker. Did a lot of shit just to live this here lifestyle. Came straight from the bottom to the top of my lifestyle. Nigga living life like a beginning, this is only the beginning. Nigga, I'm on the top of the mountain, puffing on clouds, and niggas still beginning.
That's my shit. I ain't gonna lie, bro. That's my shit, bro. I took a lot of shit just to live this here lifestyle. I do this for my mama. I do it for my daughter. So, who can tell me what the nigga, he took a lot of shit just to live this here lifestyle. Nobody's gonna get this shit right. Nobody's gonna get it right. Can anybody tell me what thug means? Hey Google, what does thug mean?
Here's the definition of thug: a violent, aggressive person, especially one who is a criminal.
A violent, aggressive person. Especially
On
one,
the website goodtherapy.org.
especially one who is a criminal. Okay?
Tactical nuke incoming!
I thought I saw Clee. Clee, what's happening?
So Jeffrey wanted to have a performing name. So he looked to Tupac. You will learn that in 1983, the incomparable talent Michael Jackson released a song that went around the globe, P.Y.T., Pretty Young Thing. About 13 years later, Tupac is featured on a song with Smooth. And that song is P.Y.T., Playa, P-L-A-Y-A, Young Thugs. And on that song, there's a repeat of words. And this really connected with Jeffrey. It's a black man that not too many understand. That's what Jeffrey felt about people with nice color skin. Jeffrey had interest in women, but he never considered himself a player. A player to Jeffrey was somebody who had the girls kind of coming at them at all times. Jeffrey wasn't like that. Jeffrey was shy. He was really tall and really skinny. He was malnourished. His teeth were rotten.
Wait. What does this have to do with anything, bro? His teeth were rotted and he was malnourished. Was this before or after he was the kingpin?
There was no money to go to a dentist. And all the sugar from the candy that he ate to keep substance in his body rotted his teeth. So Jeffrey would speak by covering his teeth with his lips, or often speak like this, with his hand or his arm over his teeth, because he had low self-esteem. He was made fun of and bullied growing up. So he got rid of the player. That was not going to work for him. But he kept the young thugs. He got rid of the S, and he became a performer, young thug. And from that day forward, he insisted everybody call him Young Thug. On every type of tweet, Facebook, social media of any kind, on any records, he refers to himself as Young Thug.
Or Thugger. Or Young Slime. Just to name a few. Easy breezy Thugger girl. What?
Oh, nigga, you gay.
And that fit in to the appearance of the gangster rap. Because most people think about a thug as a criminal. But to Jeffrey, thug...
Tactical nuke incoming!
had a different meaning. Now, some of you read books about Tupac and what it meant to be thug life. Thug life, the hate you give little infants, F's, everyone. Meaning discrimination and racism hurts all of us. We teach that to our kids. That was not what thug meant to Jeffrey. Thug meant and means to Jeffrey something very personal. It was his pact that if he could ever make it as a musical artist and help his family, himself, and as many others out of this endless cycle of hopelessness, he would be truly humble under God.
You know, Rick is so wild and has went so far off the meter. It's shit that I can't even tell you on TV. I mean, you know, for the sake of our friendship, you know what I'm saying? I'm not even gonna bring it up. But trust me, he's went there. He has went where it's like, yo, Rick, man, what the fuck is wrong with you, man? You done took this shit too far. And his response is like this: there's no such place. Darkness, let's go to the abyss, nigga! I'm not with it, man. I don't want to go to the abyss, man. You know what I'm saying? Rick wants to go to the abyss. In fact, he dwells in the abyss. Rick James dwells in the abyss, okay? And he wants company sometimes, you know? And for some reason, he likes to reach out for me. Whenever I'm around, when he wants to go there, he will reach out for me to try to take me to the abyss with him. And I'm not with it, man. I'm not with it. And that's when we end up, you know, tussling or whatever, you know what I'm saying?
You telling me that the Thug in Young Thug stands for truly humbled under God?
Yo, the devil's in full effect.
That's what thug means.
That's what thug means. Truly humbled under God. Hey, they playing for keeps, nigga. Here's the crazy part. That what he said about Tupac, that is what Tupac said Thug Life stood for. The hate you give little infants fucks everyone. Is what he said. I mean, he said this. Stop, April. And here's the part where it makes it fucked up, though. What makes it so fucked up is how you gonna prove they lying? Like, unless you got some video of this nigga saying that thug means something else, how are you really getting ready to prove this nigga's lying? And when I was listening to some of this shit, man, a lot of the shit they got is kind of motherfucking flimsy.
Opening statements in the trial of rapper Young Thug and associates resumed today.
The Grammy Award winner and 5 others face charges for violating Georgia's anti-racketeering
Nah, you need to redo that hair, Ma. You need to start all over.
and gang laws. Fox 5's Brittany Edney is following all the action coming from the courtroom and joins us from our live desk. Brittany, what's the latest tonight?
Well, Courtney, it's day 2, and Brian
Oh, shit, you too.
Still, he's the attorney for Young Thug. Well, he spent hours today delivering his opening statement. Steele pushed back against prosecutors' accusations that the Atlanta-based artist used his music to promote violent gang activity, and he claims the song lyrics are just art.
See, but here's the thing. Even if he was promoting violent gang activity, that don't mean shit. It only means something if he's promoting the violent gang activity of his own gang. He can promote gang activity all day long. All day long. He just can't be talking about a gang that he's part of. How crazy is that?
It got to the point when people saw the police coming, they just ran. It's different experiences in different parts of America.
Attorney Brian Steele explains to jurors how Young Thug, whose given name
Look how fat this nigga is now, bro. Hold on, let me. This nigga Thug done got fat. Nigga sitting around eating snack food all day long, nothing else. Make sure it ain't just me. Look at this picture of him when he first got locked up. Looks way different. Look at this nigga. You chunking up, sir. It is what it is, nigga. You your life on the line, so I do understand that much. Continue.
Jeffrey Williams grew up in poverty and has a distrust of police. He shared how his clients looked up to rappers like Lil Wayne and Tupac and studied their content, branding, and style.
Gangster rap is a subset of rap. That was the most popular music at that time.
Still touted Young
Look
Thug's
at this
many
nigga.
accomplishments since his career took off in
Oh
2014.
no, hold on, nigga. Nigga, Young Thug fat, bro. What? What? Nigga, what? Look at what this nigga looked like before he got motherfucking locked up. Definitely not malnourished now, nigga. But I mean, I see why the lawyer was saying that, because Young Thug was a little skinny ass nigga, bro. Thug was you go watch old videos when he was on the block before he started rapping. He was a little skinny looking motherfucker, bro. See, when you a skinny nigga that don't work out, you gonna end up turning into a fat nigga that don't work out. Damn. This nigga built like Kwame Brown now. This is like Kwame Brown on trial for Rico, nigga. Kwame facing a motherfucking Rico. Nigga, Kwame, what happened? You went from the #1 pick in the draft, then you fell off as a bust, then you come back with Kwame Brown Bust Life, one of the greatest YouTube channels ever, and now you facing a Rico. Ain't this a bitch?
Including awards, endorsements, and net worth. And told the jury the rapper isn't running any type of criminal activity to get money. He has plenty of it.
He is not sitting there telling people to kill people.
I don't know about that. That was the one I wouldn't have started off with personally. Hold on. April, I know that ain't you. Beat your ass. What up, big? So it's hard for me to believe that Thug was running a criminal enterprise because one of the things that they try to be like is they found enough weed with intent to sell. They found enough codeine intent to sell. I'm like, he rich. That's called wholesale. Don't you know if you go over people's house like that are middle class and up, they'll have some shit that looks like they have the intent to sell it? Have you seen some people's pantries where they have extra paper towels? They got like 50 rolls of paper towels, 200 rolls of toilet paper, all this detergent and stuff like that because they copped it while it was on sale. Well, that would look like you trying to run a store. You know what I mean? So it's hard to get me with that. Like, I know because what they base intent to sell is off the amount that you have. Just if you have that amount, that in itself looks like you selling it. But if you got a pound, 2 pounds of weed as a rich person at your crib, I don't find that as intent to sell, nigga. Like, I'm sure they got a good ass deal on buying 2 pounds of weed. Exactly, them extreme couponers. I used to do that shit. Used to be cold at it too. So it's hard for you to get me, especially if I'm on the jury, be like, this nigga had a pound of weed. So what's a pound of weed? 16 ounces? You know what I mean? It sounds like a rich person. Like, that's how it, bro, if I ever get rich, I would be buying weed a pound or two at a time, especially if I found some shit I like. Like, I saw some shit I like, yes, I want a pound, 2 pounds of this. Why wouldn't I? Especially because it's going to be like half the price that if I bought it as an ounce at a time. But you trying to prove a RICO based off of trying to say he's running a drug and criminal enterprise where it's like, yeah, he may have had some niggas knocked off. That's where I think it is, which obviously that's all bad, right? My thing is they know he's had some niggas knocked off, but they can't prove he had something to do with it, so they just trying to RICO this shit. This shit flimsy. I think they had some, I'm pretty sure he had some niggas knocked off, in my opinion, allegedly. But all this, like, they was running this weed. First of all, he could have ran a legal weed business. He could have ran in any state because he had that type of money. Like, y'all literally talking about him, it's pennies compared to what he was doing. I ain't a fan of his music like that, but I ain't gonna sit here and act like Young Thug wasn't clocking. Young Thug was clocking.
He doesn't need their money. Jeffrey's worth tens of millions of dollars.
Yes.
From there, Steele turned his focus to Young Thug.
And that's where it's gonna be hard to convict him, for real. Where it's like, you telling me he did all this shit even though he goes and does a show and makes all of this money doing like 2 or 3 shows. All this illegal money y'all talking about, he makes clean in 2 or 3 shows.
His own lyrics, some of which prosecutors were recently granted the ability to use as evidence.
YSL won't fold, pick his A off a balcony.
Steele claims these aren't admissions, it's art.
Drive-by shootings. These are common things. This is, you will learn, studio gangsters. They're in the
This nigga is a studio gangster.
studio. They are creating music for us to listen to.
Attorneys for 3 other defendants also gave opening statements.
Poor young Kavian. That's all it takes to become a target of the state.
He is not guilty.
Hold on, Scott Van Pelt? Nigga, SVP in here holding somebody down? Nigga, not SVP is a defense attorney for YSL. Bro, just when you thought you seen it all.
Every accusation and every count in the indictment that the state alleges. The evidence will show that in 2018, this had nothing to do with...
This nigga's voice does not match his body. I'm so sorry.
...anything concerning RICO.
An attorney for Quamarvius.
What did Quavarvius? What did she say?
This had nothing to do with
Hold on, what the fuck
anything concerning RICO.
An attorney for Quamarvius.
Quamarvius. No, nigga. This nigga's name is not Quamarvius. There's no way. That's not a real name. Not Marquavius. Quamarvius.
I mean, this is some shameful shit.
And what did she comb her hair with? A wire brush? I mean, all the way wire?
Nichols says that he's reserving his opening statement for after the state presents its case. From the live desk, I'm Brittany Edney, Fox 5 News.
All right, Brittany, thanks.
Jeez, OP. Oh, Thug getting ready to go home. Bro, he coming home fat than a motherfucker. This nigga, bro, he gonna come out the same way that Gucci went in. He gonna come out with that Gucci man stomach that Gucci had when he went in. Instead of coming out all ripped like Gucci did, he's coming out looking like how Gucci went in. Motherfucker studio gangster. Let's see what Quay Marvius. Why would you ever say that for real? That's just ridiculous. Take that shit to motherfucking trial. Hold on, I do gotta see her shit. Hold on, I gotta see the beginning of the motherfucking prosecution. That when she was like, and he said, take that shit to motherfucking trial. KS Dub was happening. Hey, can I get y'all hit that like button for your boy? Pretty, please. As we are taking a look at day 2 of the YSL trial. Quay Marvius. Number 5, if you hear me, bro, that's a new one. Quay Marvius. How much you think Young Thug be spend on jail shit a month? Cause I mean, obviously he got the big shit. Like, I'll give Thug credit. Thug ain't been on the phone, none of that shit. I'm sure he can have a phone. He probably got a TV, PlayStation, and shit. You know, he probably. No, I don't think he's doing 10K. I mean, maybe with the phone, but even then, I don't even think he doing the phone, bro. He talking like mama and them. That's it. Like Thug, I have to give him credit. He ain't been on no phone. He ain't been passing messages. Ain't no niggas been like, I heard from Thug, da. He ain't sending niggas letters. He ain't doing shit. Whatever his lawyers have told him to do, he's been doing. But I'm sure he probably got video game and TV and shit, and, you know, he ain't getting fucked with. Like, if he's spending 10 to 15 a month, it's on bribes and shit. But I doubt he got to go that hard. He just, because he been chilling. They obviously got him somewhere where he ain't getting no static. So he probably just got a TV. He probably watching LNC right now. Shout out to Thugger. I would say free you, but I don't know if you did it. Would say free you, my nigga, but I just don't know if you did it. So I'll give you that much of a benefit of the doubt. You know what I mean? But he probably like he just spending that money on that food. I could just see like he just sitting around eating. Canteen stay full. Man, he probably ain't around nobody like that. This nigga facing a RICO trial. They got I know it's like it's easy to look at him as like, well, he's the rapper with the most money, so that's why they come at. Yeah, I get that. But also, they're saying like he's Nino Brown, nigga. Like he's Avon Barksdale. He's Marlo Stanfield. Like he's a kingpin of a gang, of a big ass gang, a murderous gang. So I guarantee he ain't housed with no motherfuckers like that. He's probably in a level of PC that ain't really PC. Like, so he's probably over there with some other kingpin niggas, maybe. But he probably, like I said, Thug I ain't heard even an inch of shit. So wherever he's at, he's chilling. And you know, he ain't been looking like he's stressed or nothing. He's been looking the same way the whole time. And I think the nigga just eating good and shit. Chilling. Cause he probably getting food brought into him and shit like that. Like, that's the other thing. He ain't just eating shit like this nigga. He probably getting steaks and shit, whatever. I want some Popeyes, whatever. Cause remember, COs ain't getting paid like that anyway. And you can get COs to do a bunch of illegal, super illegal shit. So them doing like little piddly shit, man, I ain't fuck. That's what I'm saying. If he's spending 10 a month, it's literally because for bribes and shit. I mean, obviously the record label is paying for all of this shit, and probably a lot of it's getting comped anyway. Because, nigga, do you not understand what his record sales is gonna do if this nigga get out? Which I'd so rather see that than what we normally see, a motherfucker record sales after they die. But let's take a peek at this this bitch.
Investigating, they're finding out who committed it. And after doing all of that, they happen upon lyrics. Lyrics that have an uncanny similarity to very true and very real and quite specific events, as the evidence will show. Jeffrey Williams' words that he promotes through songs with beats behind them, they aren't random. He tells you, as the evidence will show, take this shit to motherfucking trial.
If I was in the jury, I'm sorry, that would have made me laugh. I would not have been prepared for the DA to start off, take this shit to motherfucking trial. And this bitch is, some people said that she fucked the nigga that got killed, the nigga the murder that's at the center of this. They said she fucked him.
Jeffrey Williams' words that he promotes through songs with beats behind them, they aren't random. He tells you, as the evidence will show, take this shit to motherfucking trial. I rep my life for real. For slimes, you know I kill. Trial, I done beat it twice, Kendricks. I'm undefeated, like feds came and snatched me. I don't know, no point in asking. I was on what? Bleeding. Stuck like a magnet, bitch ass nigga. I shoot at your man, you need to stand down. I up my stamina, take it to trial. Get an appeal, take it to trial. Yeah, you're gonna whack 'em. Pay for that casket, that's just if we whack 'em. My young niggas pulling up. Bentleys, Austin Martins, Rares and Teslas, strapped with an FN. You gonna hear?
Hold on, Thug. Hold on, Thug. Hold on, Thug. Thug was barring these niggas out, nigga. Oh shit. Hold on. Hold on. Hold on, nigga. Hold on, nigga. Thug. Hold on, Thug. Nigga. Thug in here barring these niggas out, nigga. You might as well just play the song, nigga. She knew better than to play the song, because them niggas been in there. Take that shit to motherfucking trial, bitch. That ain't how he said it.
About FNs. FNs galore. From here to 2015, FNs all throughout. The incidents that are involving gang members, YSL. Watch me whack that bitch. Pop him like assist. Glock with the assist. done at the home of Jeffrey Williams on May of 2022 that had been modified with that switch. It was a Glock.
But here's your problem. Here's the problem. Here's the problem, bitch. Do you not understand how often... See, FN, that's the new slang. That's like in every rap song now. FN, Glock with the switch. That is it, bro. Do you know how many times the word Glock has been in a rap song from like 1990 to now? Just the word Glock. You are not going to be able to get nobody in this motherfucking, and I think it's 9 black women on the jury. So all like you're not going to get all these black women to sit here and be like, this nigga said gun in some songs, so that means that the gun y'all found was his. The only way y'all gonna be able to connect the gun to him is singing one of his songs. Opening statements, I was just like, this is an L.
Again, we didn't chase the murders. We didn't chase the lyrics, rather solve the murders. We chased the murders, as the evidence will show, and in the process, we just found the lyrics.
But if it's like what you said, why you even bringing up the lyrics? If you got all the evidence, why would you bring up the lyrics when you know what their defense on the lyrics is gonna be? That's because you ain't. You lying.
Jeffrey Williams' words and actions further reflect his agreement to participate in this organization through this criminal activity. He tells you, we committing them crimes. Hop out and shoot. Roll one up for the gang. He's
Adam was happening, Christine was happening, Jackie was happening.
not using gang colloquially. The evidence will show he's telling you they are a gang.
Wrong. Stop. Stop. The word gang has been commonly used to describe a group of friends since ever. Little white kids were using it. Nigga, the Little Rascals were a gang. You know, that's reaching on a level unseen. Like, nigga, the Little Rascals were considered a gang. So you can't sit here and be like, because we call ourselves the gang did this, the gang did, oh, they're a gang. Like, LNC, we the gang. We the squad. We the oh, they're a gang. Like, get the fuck out of here. This is reaching like a motherfucker.
You want to be slime? Children of Fulton County, go catch you a body. Me and Lil Bro.
Objection. That nigga said, you want to be slime? Then go catch you a body. Nigga, objection. She's wildin'.
You want to be slime? Children of Fulton County, go catch you a body. Me and Lil Bro.
How would you expect the evidence to show, madam?
It is indeed, Your Honor.
All right, I'll overrule the objection.
The evidence will show that when Jeffrey Williams is saying me and Lil Bro, we used to steal from the store, we had to stick it and go. He's talking about himself. The evidence will show that this is the man, through the music, that he has been blessed with the opportunity to be able to release and gain wealth from. Through that music,
No. See, this is hurting your case. If that's the case, if he was making his money through this music, you're not going to get me to convict this nigga on a RICO on some other shit when you just told me this money came from him talking about doing it. She been making mistakes since the beginning.
Through that blessing, the evidence will show that Jeffrey Williams led the group of people that wreaked utter havoc on Fulton County. Jeffrey Williams' words and actions, as the evidence will show to the members of his gang, you'll hear in a conversation he has with them, y'all ain't beat him up I shot him yet, y'all?
Said that shit. Nigga, he talked to them. That was the one. That's the only time Thug was sloppy on the phone ever. That nigga said, "Man, y'all ain't beat him up or shot him yet." Hey, he said that. Now Thug did say that, but that's not him putting a hit. Asking if somebody got beat up or shot yet ain't the same thing as saying, y'all better go beat this nigga up or shoot him. Because that ain't what he said. That nigga did that. That nigga said, y'all ain't beat up that nigga or shot him yet?
It's getting soft. The evidence will show that there's no place or need for that kind of edict or statement when all you're doing is making.
See, Gamble, what's happening? And the reason why she kind of touched on that music and went to it and then clarified is because she can't use this nigga's rap lyrics like that. The only way she can use his rap lyrics is if this nigga said, "We killed Big Nut." Some type of we nut gone and we did that, something. That's the only way. And that nigga ain't never said nothing of the sort. Here's a crazy thing. For those that know hip hop a little bit and following, especially since Thug been around a little bit. Well, when Thug used to wear a lot of dresses and different shit like that, motherfuckers used to, call him gay and all types of shit, you faggot and all this different shit, right? Then word started getting around where it was like, hey, Thug, get down. It wasn't never nothing on record. It would be like, motherfucker said shit to Thug. Like, I'll give you an example. Game one time. The Game got on Instagram Live talking all types of shit about Thug. Man, that gay motherfucker wearing dresses, whoop-de-whoop, blase, blah, this, that, and the third. Nigga, somebody made a phone call and nigga Game got right back on the live, full apologize to this nigga. Full apologize, says, man, I'm sorry, bro. I ain't know you was like that and da-da-da-da-da. And man, no, man, my bad. Man, I couldn't believe it. Motherfuckers, all types of rumors like, nigga, you say something about Thug, nigga, you getting fucked up. And you would see, nigga, Rich Homie Quan ran from them niggas. Rich Homie Quan ran from them niggas. But you could never, it was never nothing on record. It was just in the word in the street was, hey, don't fuck with Thug, dress or not. I ain't gonna lie about that.
Use it.
But you can't convict the nigga on a reputation. His reputation could have been fabricated.
And to clarify and put a very clear and fine point on it, the evidence will show that no one is attempting to take away from Mr. Williams the fact that he has had a lucrative rap career. The evidence is simply being put before you to show that he is guilty of committing the crimes that are laid out in this indictment. That he and his fellow YSL gang members and associates on trial before you now agreed to participate in this organization through the illicit, illegal activity listed in this indictment. And that they further committed all the other crimes listed in the indictment beyond count one. Because as you'll see, count one consists of 191 overt acts. Acts that
191 overt acts.
Aren't all crimes, they're just acts. But counts 2 through 65, the ones that have these defendants' names on them, are the ones you're here to evaluate whether or not the state has proven. Actions and words, words and actions. The evidence will show that this was Donovan Thomas in life, that on January 10th at 2:15, about 7 o'clock in the evening, Donovan Thomas was living his best life. He was up at the barber shop at
Now, but here's the thing. This is where it's all gonna go left. Are y'all really getting ready to explain Big Nut like just some type of, he was just some nigga that was just chilling?
33.
Yeah, she's really bad at this.
330 in Daniel Street. He had paid for a bunch of people, a bunch of kids to get their hair cut. And you'll see that he is out there enjoying himself. The last actions that he took while he was fully alive and healthy, joking with his friends.
This nigga right here was known as one of the biggest bloods in the motherfucking nation. What is the time stamp? 6:39. Let's see. Here we go. This is the nigga. This is why she's bad at this. She got to hope that nobody in the jury knows who this nigga Big Nut really is, because let Young Thug tell you who Big Nut is. She's sitting here like, oh, this nigga just, everybody loved Big Nut and he was just a beacon of the community. But what does Young Thug think about this nigga?
I got one of the biggest bloods in America with me, my
Turn you up.
I got one of the biggest bloods in America with me, my nigga. You did. Atlanta, Georgia, nigga.
One of the biggest bloods. This nigga sitting there, Thug introduced this nigga as one of the biggest bloods in America, and the nigga threw up the gang signs to prove it. Now the DA in the motherfucking courthouse, like, this nigga was so
I got one of the biggest bloods in America with me, my nigga. You did. Atlanta, Georgia, nigga.
You know how easy it's gonna be for the motherfucking prosecution to get up and just utterly wreck this nigga's reputation with her doing this?
You get what I'm trying to tell you? That we going. Thank you. Big shout out to Bird.
The thing, I know you like, well, he throwing up gang sign shit right there, bro. They done already proved that nigga, lots of motherfuckers. They be like, lots of rappers just do that shit just to do it. And it's true. A lot of rappers just be claiming gangs they ain't even a part of. So the nigga, the murder victim at the center of this shit, this nigga fucking known as one of the biggest bloods in America. She don't want to tell you that part. What up, Jen? She don't want to tell you that part, though.
The last actions.
Nigga, all those stories I heard about Thug is Thug has been a menace for a long time. But they ain't pointing to nothing really specific. They just saying that all of this shit that like his homies did, they only did it because he told them to do it. That's basically all they got. Because hold on, let me grab my drink. All right, because when they went into his house, they found a bunch of weed, some codeine, a bunch of codeine, a small amount of coke, like a little bit of coke, a machine gun, and a Glock with a clip on it, or like a trigger or a switch on it. Okay? But here's the issue. They said it was like 10, 13 people living there, though. Bodies. And instead of them trying to charge everybody with the shit, they only trying to charge Thug with it.
That he took while he was fully.
And for the record, again, I don't know if don't be surprised the prosecution brings some evidence like she was fucking with him or some shit. Because there's been lots of heavy rumors. Because Nut was a really connected nigga. Nationally and shit like that. Which a lot of times people don't realize that a lot of these motherfucking rappers be plugged with DAs and shit like that. And lots of motherfuckers say Nut was fucking with her, bro.
Alive and healthy, joking with his friends. You'll see that they didn't even see it coming. You'll see evidence that Donovan Thomas was literally in the middle of lapping it up with his friends. When a car drives by and opens fire on him and whoever else might have been in close proximity to him. The evidence will show that this act wasn't done secretly, it was done openly, notoriously, almost as if to send a message. We did it.
Well, the problem is, if they were sending a message to say we did it, they would leave their calling card. Just for the record.
This will show everybody knew who did it. Because it wasn't done secretly. The evidence will show that this act didn't happen in a vacuum. There were things that led up to it. An argument at Club Crucial or Club Brucial, as my defendants may like to say, that involved a YSL associate by the name of Kenneth Copeland and a member of a rival gang. Kenneth Copeland gets jumped.
That's alleged. That's alleged for the record, but she ain't married, you know. And then on top of that, like I said, it's alleged. And if they might throw this shit out for a mistrial, because like I said, it's alleged. But I find it weird. We'll see.
He's flashing money because that's what they do. It's ladies fight night and they're out there flashing money. Kenneth Copeland gets jumped. Diamante Kendrick jumps into action, goes to Kenneth Copeland's defense, punches out a member of the opposition, and then shots are fired. Shell casings. Shell casings are all throughout the evidence that you'll see and hear in this case. Remnants of the violence inflicted on this county by YSL and its actions. Shell casings are fired in between January the 6th and 7th of 2015 and January the 10th. Other incidents take place and they lead to the ultimate gunning down of Donovan Thomas. As the evidence will show, in the ensuing months, there were series of shootings and retaliatory shootings. Most notably, the mother of rapper Rayshawn Bennett gets shot. Her house is shot up twice.
So, YFN Lucci, rapper, yeah, this nigga mama house got shot up twice, and one of the times her house got shot up, she got hit. And they said that, you know, some people say Thug did that or whatever. Like I said, I've heard all of these things, but ain't nobody ever showed no proof. And I always felt like that's why he wasn't locked up, where I'm like, I know how the rap game go. That's why it's like, it's hard for me to know. I have to see the proof, because I know it's just as likely for this nigga to have clapped a bunch of people on some ego tripping shit while being this big rapper, coming from doing that shit. But I also know a lot of these niggas flat out be lying about it. Flat out. They do. So you got to show me.
She gets shot one time. And the evidence will show that there is not always cooperation because there is a code that people adhere to when this type of violence is surrounding them.
So basically you telling me you can't really connect it to motherfucking Young Thug because they use code. Or it could be because he had nothing to do with it. Did you break the code?
No snitching. So the evidence will show that even as people...
Okay. Here's the problem with that. You can't sit here and be like, we ain't gonna be able to connect it to Thug because they all believe in no snitching. You got 2 snitches.
People were getting shot, even as people were bleeding, even as people were being taken to the hospital to have their wounds attended to, they weren't always forthcoming. They weren't always willing to talk to and to trust law enforcement. Not even
Gee, I wonder why.
if it would serve their own purposes. The evidence will show that members of YSL ultimately, as a result of those shootings and retaliatory shootings, ballistics or firearms matches started coming back to various people. And then one YSL member, Quindarius Zachary, he gets caught with a gun. The shell casings from that gun go to match some of these shootings. Quindarius Zachary is caught. He starts telling. The evidence will show that Quindarius Zachary was a straw purchaser for YSL. A straw purchaser is nothing more than somebody who goes and gets guns for somebody who's not supposed to have them.
And you're telling me that you're telling me this was his official position in the gang? This was his official position. He was the gun purchaser. Got you.
And that's what Quindarius Zachary did. Firearms found in the hands of Kenneth Copeland led to further revelations to the police and law enforcement. The evidence will show members of YSL were so eager, so gangster about acting on behalf of and in the protection of the defendant Jeffrey Williams and YSL that when...
See how she tries to make it both? So if these niggas was just being down for Thug because he was the rich nigga that be paying niggas out for being down for him, she's trying to frame that as they are a criminal organization gang. This is reaching all over the place, nigga.
Wayne Carter, otherwise known as Lil Wayne, came to town to perform at the compound while the defendant, Jeffrey Williams, was performing in Lil Wayne's hometown, according to word from the people that talked getting booed at the time. Members of YSL show up at the compound, locked and loaded with guns. Evidence will show that security knew to be on the lookout for members of YSL. The authorities were alerted to ongoing public rifts.
I'm gonna tell you something about like her doing this. Like, man, me hearing more of this, the defense opening statement today, they fucking destroyed her.
and back and forth between the defendant, Jeffrey Williams, and members of his gang, and statements being made publicly on social media about, towards, and threatening Wayne Carter. So when Tyrone Dennis, who is working an extra job, he is a law enforcement officer. At the time, he was an investigator with the Atlanta Police Department gang unit. So when he's there working his extra job, and he sees Walter Murphy, one of the founding members of YSL, show up with the defendant's sisters and Trontavia Stevens, and ultimately Jimmy Winfrey with guns. When he sees Walter Murphy try to secret a gun underneath the wheel well of a car, he calls him out. He's like, "What are you doing?" Walter Murphy's like, "Oh, hey. The evidence will show that the YSL gang members that showed up at the compound that night were not allowed entry into Lil Wayne's concert, his venue.
Okay. Bro, she's drumming on way too long. And, man, God bless your nephew for sure. Bro, if I'm in the jury, I'm just like, bitch, when are you going to get to the part where Thug did some shit?
So what they did was they waited until Lil Wayne leaves, gets in his tour bus, and is attempting to leave the area. They get up beside the tour bus and they unload bullets into the man's tour bus. Bullets. For nothing, except to show their dominance. There will be no evidence that Lil Wayne threatened either of them that night.
But how do you know that they did it? What if it was literally some Young Thug fans that shot up Wayne's tour bus? I mean, remember, they were on... The story is alleged that they went did a performance in Louisiana. Thug got booed. They came to Georgia. Wayne performed and got his shit shot up. Man, that could have been anybody. And again, I think Thug has done a lot of shit he could be locked up for and all this shit. But I'm not playing by my rules. I'm judging this shit by their rules, and their rules are very finicky and semantic-y. And right now, under those rules, this shit flimsy.
But that act on the part of Jimmy Winfrey and the defendants before you today, that act was intended to show their solidarity, their willingness to act on the behalf of, their willingness to exact violence upon anyone who threatened the position of the criminal street gang calling itself Young Slimelight. You'll hear evidence that after being arrested, or actually when he was approached back in 2014 about an armed robbery he allegedly committed, YSL member and associate Trontavia Stevens was seen bearing
Sean Tavius
tattoos on his hands, ROCCREW, Cleveland Avenue. And that on his side, he had YSL. And Detective Mark Belknap inquired of him, "What's that?" Bill Belknap knew, because he had been working in the streets of Atlanta for a long time. He was familiar with Right Crew. But as gang investigators, they're taught to interact with and talk to people when they see indicia of criminal street gang activity. You'll hear that Trontavia Stevens told Belknap, "Well, Rock Crew is the name we used to call ourselves." Then we started going by YSL, which stands for Young Slimelight, or it did stand for Young Slimelight. But then, when my friend Jeffrey Williams started becoming successful, we changed that name to Young Successful Life.
Okay. First of all, you left out Young Stoner Life, unless I miss you saying it. But here's the crazy part. This fucking defeats your whole argument, though. You're saying it's a criminal enterprise, but what you just said was they used to be, and then they stopped once he got famous. So this really is hurting your whole entire argument, bitch.
The words of a member of the gang himself. The only time, as the evidence will show, that members of YSL don't want to call themselves and acknowledge that they are in fact the gang is when it would be to their detriment. The evidence will show that any other day of the week, they are loudly and proudly promoting their criminal activities.
Bro, she's not good at this. I've heard all I need to hear from this bitch. She's not good at this at all. The other nigga was sitting there like telling you stories. She's just sitting here running her fucking mouth. And she is literally just droning on. I don't even understand. I don't understand her play honestly, at this juncture. Let's see if I can find a short version of opening. Since opening statement, short one. I listened to probably about 25 minutes of it, and when I tell you them niggas was barring, and there's so many fucking judges, or not judges, but so many fucking defense attorneys, like they be in the back. It looked like they sitting in the gallery. Some of them, some of the like defendants, because they're doing like multiple cases at one time. I forget how many defendants it really is. Motherfucking SVP was going nuts. Let's see. All right. Look, we'll just take I'm gonna go into a few minutes into it. Because some of the things he laid out was just like, man, if he's telling the truth and y'all don't have evidence of this, like, what are we doing here? Yeah, they said she was fucking Big Nut. Which makes me think that's why she ain't really saying nothing about him being a gang member, in my opinion. She ain't really saying nothing about it because if you start digging, you might find some shit about her. I mean, remember, they saying that all this shit's been going. Think about it like this. They said all this shit been going on for like a decade, right? All right, cool. This shit been going on for a decade. Well, why? When Big Nut got killed, now all of a sudden this shit mattered. We got to start locking niggas up. Niggas' mama's houses were getting shot up, all this shit, but it didn't matter. But when Nut actually got hit, all of a sudden it mattered. That's the only reason why it always sounded at least believable to me. I can say it at least sounds believable. I can't say it's 100% true, but it definitely sounds believable. And she could be playing this to lose if she in the streets like that. And her not having a husband, that scares me. Let me know that it's at least possible. Not saying that she couldn't cheat on her husband. At least if she was like cheating on her husband, it would just be that. But if she ain't got no husband and she fucking with some niggas like that, man, ain't no telling what she don't let them niggas do. Like, no telling.
Courtroom. Take a witness stand. Jeffrey learned that these liars, these snitches.
Oh, this was the part when they called that shit. They called like an objection.
Charges at all.
Here it is.
And they would have reduced charges, reduced prison sentences. To be. First one is that it is not justice. Our criminal justice system was not just, at least for people that he saw. Jeffrey would see over and over again people in the neighborhood who were known to be the liars. These are the people that would lie to their kids, lie to their mothers, lie to their brothers and sisters, and then somehow those people would be used by prosecutors, allowed to come before judges. And they would have reduced charges, reduced prison sentences, reduced probationary sentences, no charges at all, on their oath that they come in the courtroom to tell the God's honest truth.
Your Honor.
Those is bars, though. These niggas lie to their kids, they mamas, they daddies, they lie to everybody. But now they getting ready to come into the court and tell the God honest truth. Okay.
You have an objection, ma'am?
I have an objection.
What's your basis?
Your Honor, I'd rather approach and not speak it out loud in front of the jury.
I've never heard of that shit ever. This bitch was like, I don't want to say my objection out loud in front of the jury.
It will take 1 second.
All right.
Thank you.
Jeffrey learned that these liars, these snitches, these rats, they would come into the courtroom, take a witness stand to tell the God's honest truth. They were still the same liars. And they would testify against people accused of crimes. Jeffrey thinks that the entire justice system is corrupt. It should be blown up. And everybody who feeds into that are awful people, stealing lives away from others. The next abiding belief that Jeffrey had growing up is his despise for the police. He would see people walking on the streets. This could be an adult, teenager, a child. Wearing their backpacks, holding a football, bouncing a basketball, and the police just swarm in. They're aggressive. They search the backpack. They throw the football over the house. They kick the basketball down the road. It got to the point when people saw the police coming, they just ran. It's different experiences in different parts of America. It's different experiences in different parts of Atlanta.
Talking to them black people on the jury. I see you.
Jeffrey would be driving with his sister, youngest sister Dora. They're about a year apart. Dora is younger than Jeffrey. She's the youngest of 11 children of Jeffrey's mother. Jeffrey's the second youngest. He's the youngest young man. Those two, Dora and Jeffrey, are the same father. None of the other 11 children.
See, I'm already seeing two blatant different strategies. Her strategy is trying to get you to be the vengeful citizen. The citizen that's like, yeah, he said this, let's bury him. He's trying to connect the motherfuckers on a way more personal level.
Jeffrey's mother shared the same father. And Dora and Jeffrey would be driven, get pizza, by their dad, and constantly. The car would be stopped for a window tint violation, a failure to maintain a lane, failure to use a turn signal, illegal left turn. His father would be handcuffed and sat on the curb, Jeffrey and Dora on the other side of the curb, the police rummaging through the car, saying, if we find anything, these kids are going to DFACS custody. That's how he grew up. But what really solidified Jeffrey's distrust for the police happened 3 days before his 9-year-old birthday. Jeffrey's born on August 16th of 1991. We are now August 13th of 2000. Jeffrey's older brother, they called him Beanie. He was 20 years of age, 11 years older than Jeffrey. He's shot in the chest. He collapses outside, not far from Jeffrey's apartment. The neighborhood comes out. Jeffrey and his family come out. They're praying over Beanie. It's going to be okay. There's help on the way. 911 was called. And what seemed forever, when the police finally did arrive, they didn't go immediately to Beanie. They had to push back the crowd. Jeffrey's mother was hysterical. She was screaming for her child to survive. The police handcuffed Jeffrey's mother, put her on the...
You see what he's doing, right? He's creating a safety net. Where it's like, if they do try to be like they can connect them to some shit, it's like, they created this nigga. All of his interactions with the police since a child created this. Whatever problems y'all feel y'all got with him, know that it was created. All the fact that he felt like he needed to be around guns and this, that, and the third. It was all created from his distrust of police, his lifelong distrust of police. That's decent.
Ground. And when they finally went to Beanie, put a sheet over his face, Beanie was dead to the police, even though his chest was still going up and down, he's still breathing. The Jonesboro South housing projects were closed by the city of Atlanta in the year 2007. Jeffrey's now 16 years of age. His family was displaced. They were scattered. Most of them, not all of them, reunited and now living in the Cleveland Avenue area. Jeffrey was not educated in his home about go to university, work as a flight attendant for Delta. Somebody would loan you money so you could start a business. Jeffrey believed that the only two ways he can break the generational hopelessness and despair for his family, himself, and he wanted to break it for as many people as he could who were in this struggle, was to be a professional athlete or an accomplished musical artist.
So the old dance or play basketball trope.
Jeffrey chose the latter. And from that day forward, every week, every month, every year, to this day,
hit the like button.
Jeffrey practices to make himself a better musical artist. In Jeffrey's neighborhood, rap is a subset of hip-hop. Gangster rap is a subset of rap. That was the most popular music at that time. So Jeffrey sought to find out how can he accomplish his mission to be a successful rapper. So he had the internet. They were poor, but they had phones with the internet. So he would Google and look up and get on social media every accomplished rap artist and see what made them special. And Jeffrey would listen to beat after beat.
Now, I don't need to hear the origin of Thug being a rapper, bro.
13 years later, Tupac is... And this really connected with Jeffrey. Felt about people with nice color skin. But he never considered himself a player. A player to get Jeffrey. By covering his teeth with his lips, no self-esteem was not going to work for him. From that day forward, to the appearance of the gangster rap. Because most people think about a thug as a criminal. But to Jeffrey, thug had a different meaning. Now, some of you read books about Tupac and what it meant to be thug life. Thug life, the hate you give little infants, F's, everyone. Meaning discrimination and racism hurts all of us. We teach that to our kids. That was not what thug meant to Jeffrey. Thug meant and means to Jeffrey something very personal. It was his path that if he could ever make it as a musical artist and help his family, himself, and as many others out of this endless cycle of hopelessness, he would be truly humble under God. That's what thug means. Jeffrey is talented. He worked so hard, he'd outwork everyone. He would stay up all night after night trying to rhyme words, put them to beats. When he had time and the opportunity to go into the studio, he wouldn't leave. He got robbed. He was supposedly the leader of the Bloods in that area in Cleveland Avenue. His name is Quentin Porter. Goes by Boo or Big Boo. And when Jeffrey comes to make the performance, he's no longer there for 5 or 10 minutes. He is the lead performer. He's going to go last. As the time went on, the neighborhood got behind Jeffrey. The rock crew, the Bloods, the whole neighborhood, they would put up signs on the post, come out tomorrow night, watch our own young thug perform at this establishment. The place is sold out now. This is no longer 25, 35 people. There are hundreds of people in the club. There are hundreds of people in the parking lot trying to get into the club. There are hundreds of people backing up in the streets, all to see Young Thug. The people who own these establishments are making money. They are attracting customers. Word gets out. Jeffrey's no longer just performing in the area that he grew up in.
I don't care. Can we get to the straps?
Whatever the listener
get to the straps.
takes from it,
straps.
You will learn an agenda together. And that they wanted to preserve and protect and enhance the reputation, the power, the territory of YSL. That's the allegation. Jeffrey hasn't lived in the Cleveland Avenue area in a decade, more. He has homes from Los Angeles to Atlanta. But they charge him with, he wants the reputation, power, territory of the enterprise by obtaining money, weapons, or other property. Jeffrey needs no money from somebody on robbing someone of a car.
Facts. Thug don't need no money from petty crimes happening on Cleveland Avenue. Now, he could make sure his name still ring, but as far as him, like, that's just hard for me to believe, bro. That is a stretch. They boosting cars and shit for this nigga, and he taking a kickback from all this shit.
We're doing a $30 drug deal, or even $100 million drug. He's got his own source of legitimate income. So RICO conspiracy, there are then what's called overt acts. The judge will charge you on the law. But there are 191 overt acts. And those are separate instances that the prosecution said they're going to prove. Most of them don't include Jeffrey. But the ones that do, I'd like to go through with you. And I've broken it up into 3 categories. Because an overt act can be a crime. It doesn't have to be a crime, so I then wrote chats, social media, any type of statement, because the prosecution has been investigating Jeffrey for a decade. They have all of his personal chats. You think you're talking to somebody on Facebook in a personal chat? They have all of his thoughts. They put these in the indictment. The 3rd category are lyrics. So I'd like to go through them with you. First is going to be supposed crimes, and these are the overt acts that you will see that involve Jeffrey.
Let's go.
As you can see, Jeffrey has never been convicted of a crime. He stands before you. He's not a convicted felon.
That's huge. To say that this nigga is this big, bro, gang members and gang leaders, nigga, you get pinched once at least. This nigga ain't never been convicted of nothing. He ain't never had to plea out on nothing. Ever. But now he's kingpin. Best case scenario for y'all look like the worst police force ever.
He can vote, he can carry a gun, he can be on a jury. But now, these acts are embedded in the indictment.
So that's why y'all putting the emphasis on the illegal straps instead of just straps in general.
Start with the first one. So this is September 9th of 2013. Jeffrey just turned the age of 22. And he's driving in a car, and he gets stopped, of course, for failure to maintain a lane. And
of course,
the police officer comes up to the car, and Jeffrey doesn't have a license. Doesn't have a valid driver's license. So now he's under arrest. Police officer says he sees pills, Xanax pills, 7 of them, on the console. Police officer searches the car, and underneath the front passenger seat, there's no passenger, is a gun. That weapon comes back stolen from Andrew and Ann Phillips months before. There's no evidence that Jeffrey's involved in that burglary of the Phillips home. There's no evidence Jeffrey ever touched that gun. You're not going to hear any type of DNA, fingerprints. In fact, Jeffrey says, that's not my gun. The police officer wants to know, whose gun is it? Jeffrey's not talking to police.
I mean, that's what I'm saying, bro. Like, why would he be riding around with a stolen gun that's his when he can buy his own gun? That is kind of weird. Somebody probably did leave that motherfucker in there he didn't know. Shit happens. But it could have been his too. But at the same time, like, for what they trying to get this nigga with, they got to do better than this.
So Jeffrey gets arrested. That case got dismissed. But 10 years ago, now it's an overt act for you to consider.
See, that's trash. If they dismiss the case, how are you trying to double back and bring that back up like, this is an overt act to prove RICO? Nigga, they dismissed this. Oh, she's stupid.
You will learn that this stop was video recorded and audio recorded. But the City of Atlanta Police Department, the District Attorney's Office of Fulton County, I demanded that. They can't find it.
I mean, this is some shameful shit.
Y'all lost the video. So you wanted to use a case where they lost all the evidence in the case. She is so dumb.
So you're going to rely on a report of an officer who doesn't remember this incident. That's it. That's an act in furtherance of a conspiracy. That's the entirety of it, that first overt act. The next one. This is overt act 5 through 7. You may notice that Jeffrey's not even alleged to be in this overt act, but now you're going to hear Jeffrey's supposed involvement. This is 2 days later. It's September 11th, an infamous day in America. It's 2013. Jeffrey was arrested, if you remember, for the last overt act, September 9th, 2013. He made bond. He just got out. Walter Murphy, he grew up with Jeffrey. He's one of the people that would exchange dirty clothing with Jeffrey. You will learn that they would have no money between them. One of them would come across $1. They would split the food that they could buy with that $1 together. Walter Murphy is with a person named Adrian Bean and Fred Plethora. And there is an armed robbery of Mr. Dotson. Gunfire went out. Police are always in this area. So when the gunfire was heard, police respond immediately. Adrian Bean is driving the car. This is a car that he borrowed from a friend. This has nothing to do with Jeffrey. So he commits a crime in someone else's car. Adrian Bean almost kills a police officer, almost runs him over, driving so recklessly, high rate of speed, goes across a neighbor's lawn, over an embankment. The car is now airborne. It goes over. You'll see pictures. Goes over.
Wait, what? What?
A parked police car in a parking lot and slams into the side of a laundromat. The car crashes. Mr. Plethro is shot. Police are firing at the car. Mr. Murphy is shot. Mr. Bean runs away. He's captured. Mr. Bean, you will learn, is told, hey, we believe there was a fourth person in that car. If you make that young thug, we'll go lenient on you.
Stop playing, nigga. Nah, nigga, y'all didn't do that. You a motherfucking lie. There ain't no way this nigga did all of that. Damn near killed a police officer, running through people's lawns, went airborne, slammed into a side of a laundromat, and fled after being shot by the police. And these niggas are gonna be like, nigga, we'll take it easy on you if you gonna say Thug was with you.
Adrian Bean is in the Fulton County Jail talking with his wife. He said, I should have ran the way Thug ran. He got away. That's recorded anytime an inmate, a person is incarcerated, in a jail. Most of the time, if they're speaking with a pastor, a lawyer, their calls are being recorded. You will learn that Mr. Bean also stated on a recorded call, they gave us a story to tell. Mr. Bean is interviewed.
Wait. Nigga, are you trying to say that nigga told his wife that he should have ran the way Thug ran? As like trying to set Thug up knowing they was listening? Wow.
4 days later, September 17, 2013, by Detective Quinn, City of Atlanta Police Department. Detective Quinn is a big case because police officers are discharging their weapon. People are getting shot. Detective Quinn interviews Adrian Bean. And Adrian Bean tells him, they talk about this recording. Adrian Bean tells him, I lied to my wife. Everything on those recordings are not true. Jeffrey was never arrested for this. He was never charged for this. He was never prosecuted for this. He's not even in our indictment on Overt Act 5, 6, or 7. But now, we're going to hear from Mr. Bean. That's it for the next one.
And here's my thing. Thug was the only one that walked away with no injuries. The rest of the niggas was shot, fucked up, and everything. They was airborne and slammed into a fucking laundromat. Thug walked away without a scratch.
Somehow that furthered this conspiracy. Jeffrey was not even charged. Next overt act is January 7th of 2015. Now, this is a larger part of our case, probably. God forbid Donovan Thomas He's going to be killed 3 days later. It's going to be January 10th of 2015. And in order to understand this rental car, and there's nothing clearly wrong with renting a car, but in order to understand this rental car, and then 3 days later, the killing of Donovan Thomas, you have to understand some background. So we're shortly before New Year's of 2015. And there's a man named Kenneth Copeland. He goes...
Wait. Ain't that one of them church TV niggas?
...by Rudy. And Kenneth Copeland...
Hit the like button.
...is not friends with Jeffrey Williams. He uses Jeffrey Williams, just like a lot of people. Because Kenneth Copeland wants to be famous and have money. So he leeches on to Jeffrey Williams. About a year before that. Well, Kenneth Copeland is a criminal. He is a notorious criminal. In fact, you will learn that he was ranked one of the 10 most violent people in Georgia by the federal prosecutor here in Atlanta. That is Kenneth Copeland. Kenneth Copeland breaks into cars. He steals the property they're in. Donovan Thomas is the head of a gang called IF, Inglewood Family. Donovan Thomas,
which is Big Nut. I knew it was coming. You knew it was coming. Like, you gonna sit here and try to act like this nigga's some innocent victim and you ain't bringing up the fact that this nigga's supposed to be one of the biggest bloods in America? Okay.
And Jeffrey are friends. Jeffrey's friends with everybody. It promotes him. And Jeffrey tries to help other people at the same time. Kenneth Copeland breaks into Donovan Thomas's car. And he takes his expensive chain, Donovan Thomas's wallet, his driver's license, and Donovan Thomas's cellular telephone. Donovan Thomas calls his cellular telephone. Kenneth Copeland answers the call on Donovan Thomas's phone. Kenneth Copeland changes his voice, tries to disguise his voice, but Donovan Thomas knows it's Kenneth Copeland. Donovan Thomas has people on the street. And he tells Kenneth Copeland, "You have my stuff. I'm coming to get it back." And Kenneth Copeland says, "Yeah, I'm glad you called me. Because one of my partners had your stuff. I realized it was yours, so I got it for you for safekeeping. No problem." When Donovan Thomas meets with Kenneth Copeland, he doesn't come alone. He comes with 2 other people, and they display guns. Kenneth Copeland's not alone. He's with his brother. They're really not related, but they call themselves brothers. His name is Demekian Garlington. Demekian Garlington and Kenneth Copeland are like this. They are inseparable. Demekian Garlington and Kenneth Copeland are together. When Donovan Thomas comes, he makes it known that Kenneth Copeland is on the menu. Meaning Kenneth Copeland is going to be first.
It sounds like it.
He just stole Donovan Thomas's property. It is now January 6th. It's really January 5th. It's a Monday night going into Tuesday morning, January 6th of 2010. It's going to be the day before this first rental car. And Kenneth Copeland is with a lot of people. Jeffrey's there. Jeffrey was performing on stage.
Okay.
At Club Crucial.
Crucial.
Monday night was Club Crucial night. That's where they all went. And Kenneth Copeland goes in the back, in the kitchen area, and he's met there by a man named Kelvin Watts. He goes by Shell Kel, and who's a half-brother of Donovan Thomas, and other people who are affiliated with Donovan Thomas, and Kenneth Copeland gets beat. He has bumps on his head, his eye is injured, he's being kicked. No one does that to Kenneth Copeland. Kenneth Copeland's the person who puts the bumps on the head, injures the person.
This nigga be talking like he was really there, bro. He had studied the fuck out of whatever the fuck Stug been telling this nigga. Cause this nigga be talking like he was really there.
Kicks him. Kenneth Copeland's mad. And you will learn that Kenneth Copeland then went on a mission. He went to every place that he knew that Donovan Thomas or one of his brothers or friends were, or family members, and he would shoot at them with his weapon.
So Kenneth Copeland killed none.
On the 7th day of January 2015, Kenneth Copeland told Jeffrey, I'm going to be with my child, just born. The mother of my child, her name is Miss Quarterman. And I don't want to be driving around in the typical car I drive around in, Dodge Charger.
Oh, damn. I know what he's about to say. So that's why Thug rented that car for them. Thug didn't rent this car for them to go kill Nut. Thug rented this car for this. This lawyer good, bro.
Can I use one of your rental cars? Jeffrey does this for everybody. People need to take someone to a doctor. People want to go out of the state. They don't have transportation. He rents cars all the time. Jeffrey says, yeah, there's a rental car here. It's a Corvette. Kenneth Copeland says, that's a two-seater. My child has a baby seat. That's too small. Jeffrey rents a car at the Atlanta airport on the evening of January 7, 2015, along with Kenneth Copeland. After they drop off the Corvette, the same location. This rental car is in Jeffrey's name. When they leave the rental car location, Kenneth Copeland wants to pick up his brother, Jamaica in Garlington. And after Jeffrey is dropped off, Jeffrey does not see that Infiniti vehicle until after the killing of Donovan Thomas. That Infiniti vehicle, that rental car, is in the possession, the control of Kenneth Copeland that whole time.
I mean, think about it like this. Seriously. If Young Thug gonna rent the car for these niggas go kill this nigga for Thug, Thug might as well have did it himself. That literally defeats the whole purpose. Thug would have never. It's hard for me to believe Thug told them niggas use this rental car to go kill that nigga. That's a stretch. Now they were in the car and things went left.
The 8th of January, Kenneth Copeland is shooting at Donovan Thomas and his friends, associates. He's using this Infiniti vehicle. He's using another vehicle. he is on a spree.
Crashing
now,
up.
January 10th of 2015. There's a New England Patriot, Baltimore Raven playoff football game.
Oh, I can't wait to see how this connects. All right, continue.
It's Saturday evening. Donovan Thomas is watching the game from inside a barbershop with a lot of other people, his friends. At approximately 7:22 that evening, on Saturday, January 10th, 2015, Donovan Thomas is outside of that barbershop. His Chevrolet Tahoe is parked in that parking lot. Car drives by. You'll see a video, a surveillance video from the stores. You'll see sparks, it's gunfire. Donovan Thomas is struck. Fatally. The EMTs try to save him. He's taken to Grady Hospital, surgery after surgery, and he leaves us. 2 other people were shot as well, but their injuries were not fatal. Later that day, that evening, Jeffrey, you will learn, is in negotiations with his record label. They want to give Jeffrey over $800,000 up front. And the contract's worth millions to produce these records.
That's all you was getting was 800 racks up front? Damn.
That's what Jeffrey was working on. He was working on a music video. No one's going to say that Jeffrey was at that scene of the shooting. But later, Kenneth Copeland, when he's arrested, he tells the police lie after lie after lie after lie. Kenneth Copeland says Jeffrey Williams was involved in that shooting. Although
Nigga. At bare minimum, it's still some hoe shit, even if Thug did rent the car for that.
Kenneth Copeland said, I don't know anything about him, just tell me what I heard. Kenneth Copeland's one of those liars in the neighborhood that everyone knows, that becomes a witness, swears to tell God's honest truth. You will learn that after the shooting of Donovan Thomas, his associates did not take that well. Immediately, word on the street is that Kenneth Copeland, Woody, is responsible. Kenneth Copeland, it's now after 10 p.m., it's hours after shooting. He's then at Jeffrey's home, along with a lot of people. They're all scared they're going to be killed. They're all telling, I had nothing to do with it. Jeffrey, you will learn, is friends with Donovan Thomas. Jeffrey puts Donovan Thomas in his music videos. Donovan Thomas invited Jeffrey just recently to come into his neighborhood to shoot a music video with him in it. Jeffrey's not happy. He is sad. Kenneth Copeland says, the police are calling Kenneth Copeland. The police are right on him. And you will learn, and it's on recording, that Kenneth Copeland goes into the police station later that morning, so it's a very early morning hours, January 11th of 2015, and he's with Detective Thorpe. Detective Thorpe is recording this. And Kenneth Copeland says, yeah, I got your call. I was at Jeffrey Williams' house, Thug's house. Everyone knows Jeff. And I told him that the police won't talk to me. And Jeffrey said, if you had nothing to do with this, you should go talk to the police. That's what Jeffrey said. Detective Thorpe asked Kenneth Copeland, this is hours after the killing. Do you have anything to do with a rental car, an Infinity rental car? Were you in an accident in an Infinity rental car? And Kenneth Copeland says, no. He's just a liar.
Damn.
Kenneth Copeland tells.
Understand that if they get this body is a big ass thing. This big nut body, pause, is a big deal. And a lot of it will crumble if they can prove the thug, or if they can't prove the thug has something to do with it.
Tells Detective Thorpe, earlier today, during the time of the killing, I was at the Green Store. The Green Store is like a grocery store. It's green in color. It's called the Green Store. It's not far from where Donovan Thomas was got killed. You will learn that there's video surveillance inside and outside of the Green Store. Supposedly, Detective Thorpe, who is a qualified law enforcement officer, he's been doing this forever. I'm being told that, no, we never got the video of the Green Store to support the supposed alibi of Kenneth Copeland.
This is all bad.
No one corroborates Kenneth Copeland and where he was. You will learn that Kenneth Copeland eventually says, it's now June of 2015, gets rearrested. He doesn't want to be in jail. He speaks with the police. He's now with Detective Dennis, Detective Gaither, also City of Atlanta police officers. They're detectives with the gang unit homicide. Kenneth Copeland says, oh yeah, the night of the killing, Donovan Thomas, I wasn't involved. But I saw Jeffrey Williams. He's at the McDonald's on Cleveland Avenue. I saw him with all these other people. And then I followed him to his home. It's about 8 o'clock at night. There are videos at the McDonald's. They don't have any video. They never bother to get any video. We even tried. But we have phone records. And phone records can show that they're not GPS. This is not like you're within 5 feet of this area, you can call E911 or something. But it gives a range, maybe 1.5 miles, maybe more. And tells you which tower you're hitting off of. Kenneth Copeland tells the police, I followed Jeffrey Williams' car to his house about 8 o'clock. That's not true. When you track Kenneth Copeland's phone record, he doesn't go near Jeffrey. He doesn't see Jeffrey that night. He doesn't follow Jeffrey home. He doesn't go to Jeffrey's home till after 10. This is all a lie.
Wow.
Kenneth Copeland was told by the police, we want Thug. That's how he gets the deal. Because Kenneth Copeland was also...
Do y'all believe, come on, bro, seriously. Do y'all believe the police was really in the box with these people going, hey man, y'all did serious crimes, even crimes against us, but we want Thug? Do y'all believe that? One for yes, two for no. Do you really believe that? Because if they, why did they want him so bad, but they ain't even ever locked him up for even something petty?
Told, you're an armed career criminal. You're going to spend 25 years in federal custody for having a gun. You're going to be dying in the state of Georgia custody because we're going to charge you with gang crime after gang crime after gang crime. But you can help yourself out. On Kenneth Copeland's word, Jeffrey Williams stands here concerning that overt act. So Jeffrey Williams rents a car in his own name to use in a homicide of his friend.
Make it make sense.
Kenneth Copeland, Antonio Sledge, they're all at Jeffrey's home, and they're all scared. They're saying, Donovan Thomas and friends are going to kill us. They think we're involved. Jeffrey gives money to Antonio Sledge so he and his family can get a hotel room and not suffer a potential drive-by shooting. Because Kenneth Copeland said they're all going to be killed. Kenneth Copeland made them all supposed targets by the IO gang. Kenneth Copeland, Shannon Jackson, Demonte Kendrick, others go down to Miami shortly after the shooting. Jeffrey was performing. Jeffrey wanted them to be safe, not get hurt, until people calmed down. Jeffrey then sent them back to Atlanta. Jeffrey then went on tour, because you will learn by April 2015, Jeffrey did his first nationwide tour. He did with a performer known as Travis Scott.
Oh yeah, I did forget to turn my mic back on. I was what I asked was, or what I said was, when this nigga sits here and says that they was worried about him killing everybody in the house and putting them in a hotel, some shit like that, that's easy to be expected because, remember, they said Big Nut was one of the biggest bloods in all of America. So if this motherfucker's like one of the biggest bloods in all of America, what do you think was going to happen to anybody that was involved or even remotely connected to it? So that part is believable. And that's the other thing where it's like, Big Nut's one of the biggest bloods in America, and y'all saying Thug did it, and nobody tried Thug. Thug ain't got no stories of people shooting at him. Thug can get all these motherfuckers hit, touched, and all this shit. Can't nobody hit him at all.
In the summer of 2015, Jeffrey then toured Europe, performing there, and going to fashion shows. Jeffrey Williams is not involved. On the next overt act, you will see these are the people. This is overt act number 17 and 18 and 19 and 20. And this is charging murder and then attempted murder for shooting the second person who was shot that night, and then
Defendants Javaris Bradford, Justin Combe, Diamante Kendrick, Demise McMullen, and Shannon Stillwell, associates of YSL, did unlawfully and with malice aforethought commit the felony offense of murder by causing the death of Donovan Thomas Jr., an associate of a rival gang, a human being, by shooting Donovan Thomas Jr. with a firearm in violation of Georgia law pursuant to OCGA 16-5-1, which is an act of racketeering activity under OCGA 16-14-3, 5A4, an overt act in furtherance of the conspiracy. Act 18, attempted murder for shooting of Reginald Hendricks. Act 19, attempted murder or shooting of Cordarius Sanders. Act 20, participation in criminal street gang activity. Nigga, that is flimsy.
The third person, Mr. Sanders, who was shot that night, and then participation in criminal street gang activity. You may notice that the overt act doesn't even include Jeffrey.
Like, real shit. How are y'all putting this on me when y'all ain't even put me in the shit, the actual shit? So the actual case, I'm not mentioning it, but then you're going to try to bring that case into some shit with me and be like, but it does have something to do with me. Then why ain't I mentioning that one? It ain't make no fucking sense. Oh, wait, what's happening? I'm only going to go through a couple more of these overts because these are really bad. Even for like the big nut part, supposed to be, I thought the big nut case was supposed to have a stronger case than this. It's like they already got the whole fucking murder solved, but then just at the end, they was like, yeah, and Thug told him to do it.
No one charges Jeffrey with murder, but here we are. The next overt act is April 26th, 2015.
Defendant Jimmy Winfrey, an associate of YSL, did commit the felony offense of aggravated assault with a deadly weapon, to wit, a firearm and an object when used offensively against a person is likely to result in serious bodily injury against the person of Dwayne Carter, aka Lil Wayne, by shooting at a bus in which Dwayne Carter, was a passenger with said firearm in violation of Georgia law pursuant to OCGA 16-5-21, which is an act of racketeering activity under OCGA 16-14-3, 5AV, an overt act in furtherance of the conspiracy. See, but here's the problem. Why ain't you saying it about, then you could really do 200 more overt acts. You can do one for the bus driver. You can do, why is it just Lil Wayne the only one? That's where it makes it seem like you're being salacious even with the charge. If they shot that tour bus up, why the fuck is it only one count of attempted at aggravated assault with a deadly weapon at Wayne? Nobody else.
Jeffrey is touring. He is performing. He's in Louisiana. Lil Wayne, his idol, Jeffrey idolizes him, came out against Jeffrey, called him gay. Jeffrey did a promotional social media release where there's people with guns on either side of him, and Jeffrey's saying, come to this concert, we'll see what happens, come on to the concert. Jeffrey was told to do that video and release by his management team. Because when Lil Wayne says don't listen to his music, that impacts him. Lil Wayne is bigger than Jeffrey Williams at that time.
Well, I won't even say the RICO was meant to take down the mob. The RICO was meant to take down the head of shit. Where it's like a nigga gets so big to where all of a sudden all these things are happening. You can't connect them to anything. But I'm like, you got like a couple of his niggas that he know crashing out doing some goofy ass shit, and then y'all saying the only reason they did that shit is because Thug did it. Even though I just showed you a video. I showed you a video with Thug and Nut. Thug was literally introduced, like, and now all of a sudden he killed Nut because even though they both bloods, but Nut was cool with YFN and motherfucker. Like, bro. Copeland just crashed out and trying to save himself. Because there's no evidence of Thug sitting back really calling these hits like this. Like I said, word on the street is Thug be getting down like this. But like I said.
So this creates interest in fans. You will learn that this is part of being involved in hip-hop or rap. There's all these battles going across social media. It generates interest, much like the NFL have rivalries with the Saints and the Falcons, and how much they hate each other. It is generating advertising. It's branding.
Wait. Wait. Are you trying to say the YFN and YSL beef is the same thing as like the Cowboys and the Eagles?
Jeffrey is in Louisiana. Here in Atlanta, Lil Wayne has a tour bus, and he performs concert, and his tour bus was fired and struck. There's zero evidence Jeffrey's involved. Zero.
That's literally his argument. This shit kayfabe. Like when I'm sitting here, when I'm beefing, but here's the crazy part. We've seen it in hip hop, so he's not even sitting here. That's what makes it so crazy, this defense. You can't even sit here, even if you feel like it's cockamamie, you can literally point multiple times where all the shit he said has happened. Two motherfuckers literally beefing with each other for clout and still cool behind the scenes. Just doing it for clout.
Jeffrey's not even named. And now you're going to hear about it. Because Jeffrey's the King Slime. He just controls everybody. Even with
King Slime.
Without any evidence to support it. Because that's the theory of the prosecution.
Literally. It literally happens on YouTube. Literally.
Prosecution and the police who have targeted Jeffrey Williams. The next overt act.
It's kind of like, that's one reason why, and people don't want to admit, like a lot of people that complain about Sniper Wolf not just being totally kicked off the platform. And people like, I don't get it. I get it. That fucking with her nonstop. This nigga was fucking with her nonstop. And when she pulled up in his house, he didn't call the police on her. He didn't press charges. He ain't want none of that shit. What did he ask for? Demonetize her on YouTube. That lets you know how much it really meant to him that she pulled up in front of his house. You was scared that this little fucking 80-pound white bitch, I wish an 80-pound white bitch would pull up in front of my house talking about, pull up, let's talk. What you about to do, bitch? You better have a strap. That's why she didn't get kicked off, because everybody saw that nigga's play. His whole play was to just get rid of the competition. This nigga made video after video after video talking shit about her. Then she pulled up like, well, what's up then, bitch? Then, oh my God. Oh, I'm so scared of this girl. Well, did you call the police and file a police report? I don't want to press charges, but me and my family are thinking about moving. And the one thing that'll help me feel better where I don't need to move is if you demonetize her. That's why I was like, Nigga, yeah, Sniper Wolf be on bullshit. And she probably should be demonetized for this shit, but you egged her to fuck on, nigga. And YouTube took that in consideration. Guaranteed they did. They're like, yeah, she violated the terms, but you was fucking with her.
It's July 7th of 2015. Jeffrey is at Perimeter Mall, that's located in DeKalb County. And he's in the mall and he's buying 50 to 100 sneakers, brand new sneakers. And he's going to do a video shoot. And he's going back to Cleveland Avenue where the children don't have proper footwear. He's going to give out these sneakers and allow the children to be in a video shoot. So that's why he's at the Perimeter Mall, and he's there with friends of his.
Let me say one thing real quick. One more thing about Sniper Wolf. If that nigga had made one video about her and her reaction style, and she went over there like that, cool. It was two main reasons why they couldn't fuck, why they low-key couldn't even do what they did. Tell you the truth, why a lot of people feel like Sniper Wolf only got punished because she only got that small punishment because she's this big creator. No, I need you to understand, if she wasn't a big creator, she wouldn't have got a punishment at all. Here's why. The infraction she committed was on Instagram. That is an Instagram issue. Instagram. They ain't care about her Instagram. Nobody was like, get her Instagram pop, no shit like that, because they know where they wanted her bread and butter. She commits the infraction on Instagram. Nigga was fucking with her on YouTube. So had that shit been me and I did some shit like that, YouTube would not have punished me. And they would have told motherfucker like, well, you should take it up with Twitter or you should take it up with Instagram, wherever the fuck I was at. Straight up.
He's on a Segway scooter. It's like an electric skateboard. And the mall security comes over and tells Jeffrey and his friends, and you'll see video of this, they have to leave the mall. You can't have a Segway inside the mall. Well, Jeffrey leaves the mall. But the security officers follow him. They followed Jeffrey and his friends to Jeffrey's Jaguar. And the security won't let Jeffrey leave. Won't let his friends leave. They're standing around the Jaguar. They can't shut the door to the Jaguar. They can't pull out. And they tell Jeffrey, you're waiting here. You're going to have to be here. They tell Jeffrey's friend, we're going to get a criminal trespass warrant for you. Allegedly, someone inside the car said, I'm going to go home, get a gun, and come back and shoot you in the face. That's the allegation. The security guards then supposedly step back, the car drives away. Nobody is shot. There's no incident. Jeffrey gets arrested on that. The camp.
Wait, what? Man, y'all be fucking with this. Y'all got to, bro. Y'all don't be having nothing better to lock this nigga up for or fuck with him. Or, like, y'all be on some weirdo shit.
County prosecutors dismissed that case. It was not even indicted.
I'm sure that sounded like some trash.
Now you.
Because the first thing they gonna say is, because by their admission, when did this threat supposedly happen? After they standing there won't let a motherfucker shut their car doors or leave. Security guards are you. Most security guards, I know that if it was some thug niggas like y'all saying it was, acting a fool in there or some shit, that would have been the moment they would have rejoiced. They would have been rejoicing when they left. They would not have been like, you're staying here until we get the police here. What the fuck?
Have it here for you. The next overt act dealing with crime is September 24th of 2017. Jeffrey's with Sergio Kitchens. Sergio Kitchens is an unbelievably well.
Sergio Kitchens.
Yes, ma'am. Known musical performer. His performing name is Gunna.
AKA.
Yes, ma'am. And he and Jeffrey both are under YSL. That's Jeffrey's record label. They signed Sergio Kitchens for Gunna. There's a third person in that car. His name is Cedric Jones. The car is going to Peachtree DeKalb Airport. Gets pulled over for a window tint violation.
Like, come on, man.
The officer gets Jeffrey out of the car in handcuffs, Sergio Kitchens out of the car in handcuffs, Cedric Jones out.
How does I say, come on, man? Because it goes, we pulling you over. What you pull us over for? Oh, your windows are too dark. Everybody out of the fucking car. We're searching it. What? You damn right it was false imprisonment, and they had motherfucking, this nigga's probably been their lawyer forever. It's another reason why he probably know all this shit. He probably been their lawyer forever.
Police search the car. They find in the car supposed methamphetamine, supposed hydrocodone, marijuana, and a stolen firearm. Jeffrey was on his way to perform at the Jimmy Fallon show that night.
That's where it's gonna be hard for people to believe that this nigga was on the way to Jimmy Fallon's show with a stolen gun. He was. There's 3 people in the car, but it had to be his. Why do y'all keep wanting it to be his gun and his shit? The other one when he was by himself, obviously, but this one.
Cedric Jones said, I packed that stuff. Somehow that is now influencing and perpetuating and moving this supposed YSL conspiracy. That's the overt act.
So wait, the nigga took, so somebody in the car took the weight for all this shit, but y'all still gonna say, yeah, he took all the weight, but only because he was furthering the RICO, the crime or the organization, YSL. Is the prosecution doing this shit on purpose?
The next one. May 18, 2018. Jeffrey is driving a Porsche. Sergio Kitchens is in the front passenger seat. Supposedly Jeffrey is speeding. Supposedly there's another car that's in tandem speeding. Both cars get pulled over by police. There's videos of it. Jeffrey and Mr. Kitchens are asked to get out of the car. They're asked if there are any guns in the car. They say yes. There are guns in the car. Police get them out of the car. Any drugs in the car? No. Police have Jeffrey and Mr. Kitchens on the side of the road. Go through Jeffrey's car. They run the guns. The guns are lawful.
So you go, as one of the overt acts to prove that these niggas are a criminal organization, you're going to put in the time that they got pulled over and had guns in the car, but all the guns were legal. Are y'all doing this on purpose? Y'all trying to let this nigga go free on purpose?
The police put the guns.
This is demon time, nigga.
Yo, the devil's a full
There's
effect.
no way the DA is this bad. Now, she's tanking.
In the trunk of the car, tell Jeffrey, Mr. Kitchens, you're free to go. Give Jeffrey a speeding ticket.
They had to put the guns back and just wrote this nigga a speeding ticket. Rico, nigga.
Jeffrey's driving away.
You understand they got a traffic stop. They got a motherfucking traffic stop as proof that these niggas are a gang.
Stop.
A traffic stop that ended in a speeding ticket.
Please. Inquires about what's going to happen with the other gentleman in the other car. Please say, no, no, no. You're going to jail. They have in the car weapons, 30-round magazines. It's not in Jeffrey's car. There's going to be zero evidence that Jeffrey put those guns in the car.
So wait, he was riding clean with his clean guns, and the niggas that was so-called with him in tandem had dirty guns. And why couldn't they guns be clean like his? Like, I ain't saying this nigga innocent. I'm just saying that y'all seem to be using some flimsy shit, and it's hard for me to believe y'all using this shit because y'all this bad. I feel like y'all tanking.
Knew those guns were in the car, had anything to do with them. That's your overt act. The next crime is an overt act. This is the date of Jeffrey's arrest. So it's broken up into several overt acts. So I grouped them. This is overt act 183, 184, 185, 186, 187, and 188. And what you'll see here is they're just different items. So Jeffrey's home is surrounded on March 9th of 2020 by law enforcement. Law enforcement has tremendous military power. Law enforcement takes control of the scene, the area. Jeffrey and more than a dozen people are in that house. You will learn that Jeffrey doesn't live at that house often. But other people live there all the time. They take care of the house. You don't leave a house unattended. The house has a lot of Jeffrey's awards that you'll see. And in the house, law enforcement finds a small amount of cocaine. I'm talking about a small amount of cocaine.
I love how you trying to brand that.
They find codeine, lots of codeine. Codeine's cough syrup. People drink it and get high, get very addicted.
Big Pharma.
Marijuana in the house. And firearms. Other people had access to this home. Other people lived at this home. You will have no evidence that Jeffrey ever touched a firearm.
I hope y'all can prove otherwise.
Those are the overt acts.
So this is what I'm saying. So they caught 1, 2, they had 3 niggas in the car, or 3 niggas at this house where this shit was found. Marijuana with intent to distribute, which means it was a lot of weed. Codeine, it was a lot of codeine. Definitely was a small amount of cocaine by how they charged it. And possession of a firearm during commission of a felony. what felony was being committed. Just having the weed, man, that's...
Involving Jeffrey. And somehow that furthered this conspiracy to create territory and property and money and respect and reputation. The next series of overt acts deal with videos that are released on the internet, photographs on the internet, chats. These are not released on the internet. The chats are personal. So this is when you really know what Jeffrey's talking with people, and then conversation. So the first one is November 30, 2014.
Defendant Jeffrey Williams, an associate of YSL, did pose for a photo released on social media wearing red clothing and flashing a YSL gang hand sign, an overt act in furtherance of the conspiracy. This is what y'all got, is them throwing up. Bro, do you not know the amount of rappers that have a symbol, hand signals that represent their label? Hand signals do not mean gang. This is where y'all going with it? Oh boy, oh boy. This is ridiculous.
Jeffrey in the red sweatshirt. That is Mr. Copeland. That's Kenneth Copeland, Woody, in the white sweatshirt. And they're wearing different colors. And the RG is Rich Gang. That
Woody's
is a musical
snitching, bro.
gang. A musical artist. Rich Homie Quan, a man named Brian Williams, Birdman, Jeffrey Williams. They had lifestyle that went across the world. Success. And Jeffrey is holding up his fingers. Suppose that's a YSL. That's what he's doing. He's wearing red clothing. That's the overt act. Jeffrey didn't release that. That's not his Instagram releasing it. But that's the overt act.
That's weak.
The next one is January.
Wait, no, stop. This one, Dame Keon, whatever the fuck, Garlington, and Jeffrey Williams, which is Thug, associates of YSL, did pose for a photo released on Garlington's Instagram account with the caption, quote, "We ain't going back and forth," end quote. An overt act in furtherance of the conspiracy. Nigga, what? No. Y'all got to do better than this. This is how you trying to bring down this. Oh my.
3rd of 2015. That is
And when you on the jury, this is gonna feel like overkill with them putting every little post like this. You know the amount of motherfuckers that get on Instagram and say shit like that all day long and they get up and go to work every day? Going back and forth. Oh my goodness.
Mr. Demekin Garlington in the red with the glasses on. That is Jeffrey. Closest to us. There's money on that table. There's a double cup, styrofoam cup. And it says that Jeffrey posed for a photograph. Jeffrey's not even looking at the camera.
Got a point. They gonna say this nigga posed for this picture. This nigga ain't even looking at the camera, bro. Hey, he's got a point. He got a point.
Jeffrey didn't release that on social media. He didn't post it. That is Mr. Garlington. And that's Mr. Garlington's "We Ain't Going Back and Forth." Mr. Garlington and Mr. Copeland are brothers. They consider themselves one. What happens January 3rd, 2015? It's an important date. Shortly before New Year's, you will remember that Kenneth Copeland stole Donovan Thomas's chain, expensive chain, his driver's license, his wallet, and his cell phone. That's Mr. Garlington saying, we ain't going back and forth. That's the overt act. Dealing with Jeffrey Williams. Jeffrey didn't even post it. Next one is January 26, 2015.
Better be good.
Again, this is Mr. Garlington. Now, what I'm showing you, by the way, are the overt acts from the indictment. You'll have the indictment. These are language of the indictment. And this goes to a video you will see. And it's Jeffrey. By this time, his teeth, his rotten teeth are covered with gold. He's trying to fix himself.
This is flimsy too. In the video, Thug said 16 days after Big Nut died. So a nigga lied to their mama, lied to their kids, lied to their brothers and sisters, then go right into the courtroom and tell the God's honest truth. Don't get it. Y'all niggas need to get fucking killed, bro, from me and YSL. You know the amount of people that say shit like that on social media? You know the amount of people that have told me I need to get fucking killed?
Himself better image. It is 16 days after Donovan Thomas is killed. And it says, Jeffrey's saying, so an A lies to their kids, lies to their mamas, lied to their brothers and sisters, then get right in the courtroom and tell the God's honest truth. Don't get it. Y'all ends need to be effing killed, bro, from me and YSL. It's exactly what Jeffrey's been thinking all the time. The criminal justice system is out of control. But what do you learn here? First of all, Mr. Garlington released that on his Instagram, not Jeffrey. Second of all, when was the video made by Jeffrey? Was it made, as the state told you, 16 days after Donovan Thomas's killing, and therefore somehow it's relevant to this murder? You will learn that that video was in existence before Donovan Thomas was ever killed.
I'm losing my motherfucking mind, man.
They doing this on purpose. No, the state trying to lose on purpose. How the state not know that? How the state gonna say that this video was 16 days after a nigga died, but then they gonna be able to prove that, nah, nigga, this shit was before he even died, bro? How is the state this fucking bad? This nigga been locked up for what, like they've been preparing for like 2 years? It's what, a year and some change? About a year and a half? They this ill prepared. I'm floored by this. I got one more overt act.
That is a repost. That is a repost by Mr. Garlington. The prosecutors, the police, are misrepresenting the evidence. What does happen on January 26, 2015, though? is Donovan Thomas's close associate. He's also a very well-known musical performer. His name's Mr. Bennett. He goes by YFN Lucci. His mother's house is shot at. His mother, Mr. Bennett's mother, YFN Lucci's mother, is shot, as well as her boyfriend. That's what happens on January 26, 2015. This is released by Mr. Garland. Because everybody wants to associate with Jeffrey. He's the only one who got out of that area.
Uh-oh.
Everyone talks about him. You're going to see in the chats. They don't even know him. Hey, if I do this, how much will Jeffrey pay me? Hey, if I do this, will Jeffrey take me on tour? Hey, if I do this, will Jeffrey do this? Can I get Jeffrey's number? Can I come to his house? Will he buy me jewelry? They use Jeffrey. This has nothing to do with Donovan Thomas. But that's what you're being told. The next one is February 9th, 2015. Jeffrey is in a car. You'll see the video. He's singing. He's singing. And he's making signs with his hands that the prosecuting police say are gang signs. I can make gang signs. This is America. I can speak favorably to the Bloods, to the Crips, to Donald Trump, to anybody. That's the overt act, and Jeffrey didn't even release it. This is on Mr. Garlington, who Mr. Garlington wrote, "You did 30. YSL coming soon," instead of the C for the Crips.
I'm done, bro. Look, the DA, she in on this. She in on this. This nigga gotta sit down for a second. Thug coming home. Thug coming home. Outrageous. Outrageous. Her opening statement was boring as fuck. This nigga spent his whole opening statement so far debunking every fucking thing you said with shit where it's like, well, he's like, either he's like, these are some bold ass lies because you better have the proof of that. Do y'all think Young Thug going to prison? 1 for yes, 2 for no. Obviously, we only 2 days in. How long is this trial supposed to be? 2 weeks? A week? 2 weeks? Hey, Thug told y'all a long time ago he a Mason. He beat all his cases. That's what he said. And it's true. He ain't, bro. He can, bro, if he beat this, he can come home and get a gun. Because they don't have him on shit. The scariest thing is that he's actually guilty because he's been a very careful, guilty man. Robert, what's happening? This shit's outrageous. Motherfucker got the snitching today in the O-Block trial talking about Dirk, bro. They said a nigga got on the stand today and told on everybody, including Dirk, Chief Keef, like some real shit. How them niggas is funding gang wars, all types of shit. So, Dirk might be going to sit down for a second. Dirk might be going to sit down for a second. This is very possible. Hold on, let me see if I can find somebody right quick who explained it pretty good, pretty fast. We'll go to my man AK-47, aka the voice of the streets. You gonna let me? Try it again. Oh, okay. Hold on. Let's see. The motherfucker gonna let me get it. What's the name supposed to be? What's the name supposed to be sliding through? Trenches is supposed to be sliding through the trial for O Block. What, tomorrow or sometime this week? They said that went today. Listen to all the shit this nigga was telling. This shit wild.
Nah, here we is on Trenches News. And, you know, rightfully so, we on Trenches News.
Good night, Boston.
Bruh lied, you know, he been there, subscribe to the channel. Now, what I realized about this FBG Duck O Block case is there is somebody from O Block who's a tattletale. And not only a tattletale, he telling everything. Now, it's already circulating around places. So, without further ado, this dude right here, David Sloan. Well, former O Block member. And what did David Sloan decide to do? He took the stand. David Sloan. Well, former O Block member. And what did David Sloan decide to do? He took the stand. He took the stand and identified Muwab, C-Murder, knew who C-Murder brother was, Los, everybody. Not only that, he mentioned Lil Durk, King Von. He mentioned who O Block was allied with, Lamron. He said Durk is Lamron, a BD. He also mentioned Durk as D-Thang brother. He also mentioned the leaders of O Block. He mentioned T-Roy, deceased. He mentioned Big A, deceased. He also mentioned BJ, Monadou. He mentioned Perry. What's the biggest Perry? E-Dog. He mentioned Gleesh. He mentioned all these dudes, man. He also mentioned how O Block pay dues and give violations. He even mentioned how he got a violation. Not only how he got a violation, he said E-Dog punched him in his mouth for fighting some dude that they was related to in jail, and that was a violation. He even described one violation is 15 to 30 seconds. Another violation is Pumpkinhead. Yeah, Pumpkinhead. So I guess they still do a Pumpkinhead. Now remind you, this is an O Block member who ain't been O Block. Now the reason why he testifying is he got caught with a gun with a clip in it, a 30 clip or something, and he decided, you know, I'll fold on my own homies and give you all the information that y'all need.
Damn. But he gave up the whole hood.
He brought up all the alliances of O Block. He brought up every little detail that it was about O Block. He even brought up the ops. He even said he was a lame in O Block and he had to prove himself. What does proving yourself mean? He said to not be a goofy, you have to either ride on a hit, be in the car, or be a shooter. He even said he shot people because he didn't want to be a goofy from O Block. And he said he shot STL boys. Now, he has immunity, so anything he say right now cannot be used against him. So he's spilling it all. You feel what I'm saying? And they not doing nothing. Plus, they can't focus on his other case anyway because it's open and you're proved innocent until guilty. So this dude got the green light. But the one thing about this dude, he terrified. This was the witness that they said they were scared that was going to be, retaliated on because O Block did retaliations in the past. Well, he knows about this. And as they were in court, allegedly, he got the pointing at people, but he didn't want to look at nobody. He couldn't look Muwap in the face. He couldn't look C-Murder in the face. He couldn't look nobody in the face. He was terrified and still is terrified to the point where I heard that one of the lawyers even said, well, how can he identify anybody if he's not looking at anyone?
Damn.
And the judge said, well, maybe he's scared. But as long as he could point, he know who, he naming the people he got to name without looking at them. And he naming them right. So they objected that, man, this dude right here. Now, okay, they said Trench's News was the star witness, right? Cool. He close. He close, man. You feel what I'm saying?
Yeah, I gotta agree.
I believe Trench's News knows some information straight from the horse's mouth, which should be Kenny Mack or something. For him to call them the next day, that's what make him a star witness because he knew information the next day.
Trench's News, that is. That nigga did. They said that not only was he cooperating with the police, he been cooperating with the police for like 10 years, they said. And then they said when the duck shit happened, he called them the next day with shit.
Which would mean you had to have called Kenny Mack or you had to have been on the phone with somebody. But this dude right here, this the dude that's literally built the case. You feel me? And it's people reacting to it on social media. Everybody talk about Trench's News ain't take the stand yet. Nobody we was told took the stand yet but this dude. And this dude telling everything about O Block, y'all. And it make you wonder. When you got all them, even he wore a wire or something, even Melly name came up, bro. He even on the wire or whatever, Melly name came up, but Lil Durk, King Von were mentioned. Lil Durk was mentioned a lot, and out this dude's mouth. So what he's doing is in court, he's building affiliate. And I was wondering, Durk on the farewell tour, right? I think Durk know what's coming. This
Durk
is not about to stop.
He on a farewell tour?
Stop at FBG Duck, y'all. They have informants and witnesses, bro, that know everything that's putting together the pieces. All it takes is 2 or 3 of these dudes, and everything is done. All it takes is 2, 3 credible loaders. Out of all the witnesses, all these dudes were in the game. All these dudes were in this war.
Wow, this shit looking way different than YSL. Niggas is telling how shit was structured, how niggas were getting punished within the gang. I ain't even heard that from YSL yet. I ain't heard how nobody was like punished inside the gang or nothing yet. I can't wait till Trench's News. Yeah, bro, I pray for his safety. I don't know what that kid was thinking. Niggas seem a little off, but definitely off with the shit he did. Star witness. That's crazy to be like a fucking YouTuber And like it ain't like you got caught up in some crimes and you snitched. You a YouTuber doing this shit and you decide I'm gonna live in the middle of the shit and become a paid informant of the police while pretending to be friends with both sides of the war. And I'm telling on both sides. Like Trenches used to live in O Block. I think they said he ain't from O Block, but he did live in there for a while. It's a dirty fucking game. Tomorrow I'm gonna be on some other shit. I'm not doing trial all week. I did find opening statements very interesting today. Gonna check out some viral clips to Maz. That sounds like the plan for this coming up Wednesday. I hope everybody got to eat a taco today. I truly do. Tacos for everyone. And Tracy brought up how Fulton County's paying for this, right? Here's the crazy part. Soon as this RICO's over, this expensive ass RICO, then they got another expensive ass RICO with YFN. And she's not getting, bro, she's done as DA. If she can't, first of all, she got to get both of them. If she can't get both of them, she damn near done. Nope, what, Clee? I switched thoughts, so I don't even know what you're referring to. Pretty please, if possible. If she don't get both of these, she gone. Some expensive ass cases, she doing them back to back, trying to be on some tough on crime type shit. No Taco Tuesday. Damn it, Clee, because I didn't get one either. Damn it, she do got that Trump case. Man, she fucking up, Adam. I forgot she got that too. It's like, bro, that.
Heifer.
I think she's in place to get all these motherfuckers off. Because YFN case can't be stronger than this, or she would have went there first. I think he was down before they were. I'm like 100% that Lucci was down before Thug. So this is getting ready to get off. And then Trump gonna get it, because if she can't get Thug, how's she getting Trump? How is that? Explain to me how that works. How she's gonna be able to get Donald Trump after not being able to get Young Thug. Or the powers that be could be setting her up as well, setting her up to take the fall for this shit. The powers that be could be like, yeah, we getting these niggas off. Hey, bro, this could be a straight demon time setup.
Yo, the devil's in full effect.
Could be. I mean, it is. They in that courthouse. I don't think I ever knew much about Lil Fat Murder. I'm gonna have to look that up. I'm also about to start doing some best stories of 2023 videos and shit. And go over a story or two during live streams. Shit, December starts in what, 2 days? Mm-hmm. That's what I'm gonna start looking up. Basically, when I get off the air tonight, start looking up, refreshing. Like, oh yeah, that because ain't nothing crazy like that when you start seeing stories from early in the year. You be like, damn, that was this year. They always say that's the only way until a motherfucker get off another way. I mean, because obviously everybody know that it's most likely going to be a Republican president this time. So it could be anybody. You're pardoning. Fuck around pardoning and put him in their cabinet or some goofy shit. No shit, Tracy. That's crazy. I'm definitely gonna have to peep that. Man, when I was looking at all the shit from Sonny, bro, I was like, damn, girl. Like, DUI after DUI. They said that in the shit that caused the murder or the manslaughter or the death, if you will, says she had just ran a red light where she almost caused another accident right before she caused that one. So she was how they look like drunk driving in a movie type shit from how they were explaining it. I saw this shit today too with this cop from East Cleveland. Got convicted and I think he only got sentenced 2 years too, if I'm not mistaken. This nigga got sentenced for 2 years. This nigga had been stealing from people. He was just pulling motherfuckers over and stealing from them. Block them up for petty shit, steal their money. They be like, "Where's my money?" Like, I didn't see no money. Literally doing shit like that. And how did this nigga get caught? How did the whole thing come down where everybody was able to expose it? This nigga stole the money from somebody. Where was this nigga had like, I think it was like $5,000. Why did he have like $5,000 cash on him right then? What was he doing? He was on the way to go pay for his mama's funeral. And that shit made the news and then basically unraveled from there. This nigga, let me see if I can find a quick news story on that. I was like, what? Here go the whole thing. All right, here go the short one. This nigga, bro. This nigga was bold with it. And they only gave him like 2 years, bro.
Another former East Cleveland police officer is headed to prison tonight. For the second time this week, an ex-cop from that department, rocked by 18 criminal indictments, is sentenced for robbing victims while on duty. News 5 investigator Scott Knoll was in the courtroom and has the latest from the Cuyahoga County.
The judge here today calling that former officer's actions, quote, cowardly, in contrast to what he says was courage by the victims to come forward and report to police that one of their own had robbed them. In court today, former East Cleveland police officer Willie Sims sat flanked by his attorneys, listening as one of the men he pleaded guilty to robbing expressed his frustration with what he described as years of inaction against crooked cops in the city.
Because nobody was taking any action. This has been going on in East Cleveland for over 20 years.
Jonathan Whitlow says Sims robbed him during two different traffic stops, one in 2020, one in 2021. Prosecutors say Sims, who worked for East Cleveland for 3 years, stole more than $2,000 in cash and drugs from Whitlow. Today, the victim...
Yeah, they said that nigga was taking his weed, his gummies, his money.
Saying Sims could have been a leader in the community, but instead turned thief, telling a judge he doubts he'll ever be repaid.
Because I don't care about this man going to jail. I want my money.
I'm broke, nigga, I'm broke.
That's what I want is my paper. This ain't gonna solve nothing. It ain't gonna solve anything because guess what? Right now as we speak, it's another cop committing police brutality, whether he black or white. And guess what? He gonna get a slap on the wrist. He gonna go there and be sitting up there with curly Sue, braiding hair. You know, that's what's going on with him.
While his attorney...
Bro, I watched the whole thing because the thing was probably like an hour and some change. I watched that nigga's whole testimony. He was cussing and everything. That nigga was like, nah, man. The judge was like, well, you know, how'd you feel? He was like, man. He was like, the nigga roughed me up. He was like, well, how'd that make you feel? He was like, man, I was embarrassed. He was like, what embarrassed you? He was like, I couldn't fight back. He was like, I wanted to fight him back and I couldn't because he got the gun. And the judge brought that up to him when he was getting ready to sentence. He was like, nigga, like, that was some cowardly shit. He's like, you sitting there punking people knowing that people ain't gonna come back at you because of the power you have as a police officer.
Attorney said Sims was sorry for what he did and took responsibility for his actions. Addressing the judge, the 32-year-old never mentioned his victims or the community prosecutors say he betrayed.
Nope, all he mentioned was his fucking family and shit. That nigga was like, I'm sorry to my family and shit. He ain't say nothing to them niggas, bro. He was basically like, fuck them victims.
I can say sorry to my family, my friends, but, you know, in this position I'm in right now.
Judge Tim McGinty noted what he called a ridiculously low amount East Cleveland police are paid, but said it didn't justify robbery, sentencing Sims to 2 years in prison for robbery and theft in office.
2 years. Nigga, you get more than 2 years if you steal $2,000 from Best Buy. Steal $2,000 from Walmart.
This is robbery. Robbery by a police officer on a citizen. It's turning it all around. It's putting things upside down. That's not supposed to happen.
Along with prison.
You talk tough, and then you get a nigga 24 butts, which means he'll probably be coming home after a year.
And the judge fined Sims $40,000 and ordered him to repay his victims. Sims also must give up his police officer certification. In Cleveland, I'm News 5 investigator Scott Knoll.
Nigga, I'm telling you, when they told the story, like I said, I watched shit, and this is the prosecutor shit. When they told the story about how this shit came to light was because that nigga robbed somebody on the way to pay for their mama's funeral. I said, well, the devil set your ass up for show. What a way to get busted, idiot. What a fucking moron. But he did have that haircut, so I expected nothing less. What else can you expect with a nigga with that haircut? But I guess I'm Z fuck up out of here, man. Say goodnight to your boy. I want to laugh tomorrow. Make sure I have some funny shit to watch tomorrow. I want to laugh. 2 serious days in a row, I can laugh tomorrow. Tracy, Jim, Big, Adam, Clee, Robert, Samoy, whole crew. Oh, man. Oh, man. Oh, man. Oh, man. Oh, man. We're going to let me do that. I love y'all to death, man. God is great, man. Everybody stay safe. I will see y'all on Hump Day. Make sure Shay at latenightcrew.net, whatever news, video clips, whatever. We not just, there's no married topic. That's why I'm like, I want to laugh at something tomorrow. So find some funny shit to laugh at. But then again, I'm probably lying. Lunchbox rules in full effect, man. I love y'all to death. God is indeed great. I'll see y'all tomorrow, man. Peace.
Yo, what's going on, boys? How are you?
Yo, dab me up.
Hey, all right, damn. What part of the city are you from?
Yo,
What's up?
there, brother.
Hey,
Yeah.
What's up?
Yeah.
You guys ready for this?
Take this.
Oh, all right, sick. Why don't you guys come inside?
Don't ski.
These are the guys.
I'm Octavius Gray. And I'm Steve. Steve Lavoie. It's okay, I have baby in here, right?
Set the mood right. Pick you up, baby, I'm looking so fly. Sunset rooftop, yeah, that's nice, right? Hop in the G-Class, I know you need that. Heart racing fast like the speed of light. Is this attraction? Or is it the moonlight? You want satisfaction, but only for one night. This could be real love, but you've been broken, and I just want you to see what I can be for you. 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 You got me wrapped up in your love.
Barely.
Finding you is like a treasure. Making my heart feel this way, yeah, yeah. And I'll treat you so damn special. What you did, who you were with, I don't care about those days. When I'm with you, I won't complain. Share your success and heartbreaks. Yeah, you know I stay by your side. Never leave you dissatisfied. But I need you to let me know. Is this attraction? Or is it the moonlight? You want satisfaction, but only for one night. This could be real love, but you've been broken, and I just want you to see
My name is Jeff.
what I can be for you. 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 Baby girl, it's just one night.
You are watching When Keeping It Real Goes Wrong.
Yeah, it's just one night.
crushed it.
Make sure you hit that like button for me. I love you, man. God is great. I'm gonna laugh like a motherfucker tomorrow. I don't even know what, but I'm gonna laugh. Hit that PayPal Cash App. I love you. Peace.